Happy Palm Sunday, everybody. Today I wanted to continue my discussion from yesterday where I defended the Catholic Church's practice of honoring Mary, not only the saints, but especially Mary. Why do we give her so much honor? Today, I wanted to argue that the special honors that we give Mary actually are about honoring Jesus. They all lead back to Jesus. The first title that I wanted to focus on is the title that the church gave to Mary at the Council of Ephesus. It was in response to a heresy by a priest named Nestorius, who had difficulty reconciling Christ's humanity with his divinity. And Ephesus's declaration was that there is one person in Christ. There is no bifurcation of two persons who are supposed to be somehow together in this body of Jesus. There is one divine person, two natures, human and divine, but one divine person. Corollary to that was Ephesus's declaration that Mary was, the Greek is Theotokos, that is, she was the God bearer, because this follows naturally. If in fact Jesus Christ is a divine person and he is carried in the womb of Mary, that makes her the bearer of God himself. This is an honor given to Mary, but it is not about Mary. It is about Jesus. It is a way, in essence, of protecting our belief that Jesus Christ is Lord. When we say that Mary is the God bearer, it emphasizes and protects Catholic doctrine regarding Jesus and the honor that we owe Jesus. So Theotokos in the Greek ends up being translated, brought into common parlance in the Western Church as Mater Dei in Latin, the Mother of God. When we talk about the second half of the Hail Mary, the first half being scriptural, the second half refers to Mary, Holy Mary, Mother of God. It is this emphasis on Mary and her bearing God himself in the person, the divine person of Jesus Christ. So these titles of Mary, this honoring of Mary, ultimately is a way of leading us to Christ and recognizing who he truly is. He's not a human person. He's not just another prophet. He is God himself, God incarnate. And this honor of Mary is really all about that. And as we reflect on the other honors that the church has given Mary, we see that to be the case as well. Take the title of Mary and her Immaculate Conception, that is, Mary conceived without original sin. Well, this likewise is all about, again, the notion of if Jesus Christ is to become flesh, it is literally Mary's flesh that he takes to himself. And therefore, if he is going to be born in this world, the vessel that holds him, the womb in which he grows, needs to be prepared. This is the way the theologians of the church have thought about it. And this is where the title of the Immaculate Conception comes from. And Mary is conceived free from original sin. The church does not teach that she did not need Christ, but relying on the idea of God's atemporality, the effects of Christ's redemptive sacrifice on the cross are applied to Mary preemptively, and that's why we would speak of her as immaculately conceived, not through her own power, and certainly not for herself, but through the merits of Christ on the cross and for Christ, in order to prepare her as a vessel worthy to hold God himself. Similarly, I would think that the Assumption, this other title that we accord to Mary, Mary in her Assumption into heaven, in a sense prefigures what we're all called to ultimately at the final resurrection, where we likewise will receive back our bodies and we will be in heaven, adoring God, body and soul, just as Mary has now assumed into heaven. So in a sense, that prefigures our eternal state. Again, it's not for Mary, it's for us and our hope in the resurrection. So just to sum up, all these honors that we give Mary are not for herself, but ultimately honoring Mary leads us to her Son. That's all I have time for. God bless. Have a good Palm Sunday.